A memory for me, the way I like to make them. Permanent, tangible, in a way that we probably no longer do. My name is Lissarette Nisnevich, and I'm here today to share a message with you in hopes that it will help you not only choose adventure of your own, but choose the way you connect with others. In my many years as an educator, performer, model, I've been blessed to travel to over 30 different countries and learn 6 different languages. In today's globalized world, it may no longer be feasible for us to embrace only one culture and one language. And despite the fact that we have so many ways to connect with others, are we really connecting with others? In my travels around the world, I learned a lot from people because I allowed myself to be vulnerable and to share and connect with them. Many of these things happen in moments where I was not expecting this to happen. And the way I would keep these memories was if I had my camera, I would take a snap picture and I will share with the person, and then I'll keep one for myself. My fridge is now a collection of memories and people and stories that I share with my husband, my son, and everybody who enters my home. When I went to China, one of the first adventures I had was I went one morning to climb up top of the mountain so I could get to a Buddhist temple. And as I was going and I was climbing and walking, a green snake appeared onto my path. I am really scared of snakes, but for some reason I didn't run or scream. I just stayed there, staring at my new friend. Luckily for me, there was a family of locals right behind me. And the husband of the family came and moved the snake from the path with a stick. Please bear in mind that my Mandarin was extremely basic at the time, so I was able to say thank you, and by some gestures, I understood they were asking me to continue the journey with them. I took the chance. This to prove that communication and connection goes beyond language sometimes. When we arrived at the temple, it was amazing. They were able to show me how things worked. We were able to pray. I took some photos, and it was super fun. It was nothing like I had imagined it was going to be that day. After we were done, they were again trying to tell me something, and one more time, instead of building a wall, I chose to build a bridge and try to connect. I understood they were trying to invite me to their home to have dinner with them. I took the opportunity. I went to their home, which was nearby. They invited their whole family, prepared a full table of dishes and delicacies, and there we were, laughing and having a good time. I was showing them pictures of my home and my travels. But this would not have happened if I did not choose to embrace their culture as my own on that moment. I took away from China a memory, friends, pictures, but also a story to share that helped me shape my own. This happened again when I went to Peru. Many years later, we went on a climb, and my husband and I were determined to get to the top. We had a wonderful time. Upon returning of our adventure, we saw a sign, and I decided to call, as everything we found on the internet or any other ad was overpriced or booked. We met a wonderful tour guide who was supposed to give us a 3-hour tour that ended up being 6. And when we were done, she invited us to her home to meet her family and have dinner with them. Once again, we chose to embrace the culture, we chose to connect, and we couldn't have had it better. The only dangerous thing that was a distraction on that trip were the alpacas. I mean, look at that. It's like you cannot go and do things normally without getting distracted. Again, I am not telling you to not be careful. If you do the research and you learn about the place you're going, I'm sure you'll be aware of the things you should be careful, and you should use common sense as well. Fear keeps us alive. But does this mean that we need to be afraid of absolutely anything and anyone who's different than us? If fear is standing on your way, I say you should give yourself the opportunity to confront your fear and get to your destiny and fulfill your dreams. Another country that gets a lot of bad press, it's our neighbor Mexico. When I was going over there and I shared the news with my friends and family, I thought I was going to meet El Chapo at the airport, who's going to be waiting for me with a machine gun and a machete on the other hand. And by the way, here's a picture of him at the airport. But what I encountered when I got there was something completely different. I was working in an environment of acceptance and love in a beautiful, beautiful cultural place. I came out of Mexico knowing way more than what I knew from the things other people told me or the things I saw on the news. Remember, there's always two sides of a story, and you should give yourself the opportunity to make assumptions and opinions of your own. Did you know that there are 68 native dialects alive in Mexico today? In fact, the speaker of the 69th died while I was living there. I also learned that I cannot pronounce the word Tenochtitlan for the life of me, but my 8-year-old students did it and laughed at me. It was a really fun time. I also learned that tacos come always after 5 p.m., not before, and they always come in a soft tortilla. These are things I learned that were cultural, but also helped me connect with my coworkers and my friends. It helped me write my own story by connecting with people that I didn't even know existed before. St. Augustine said once, "The world is like a book, and those who don't travel only read one page." I encourage you to take this wonderful book we call World, which is our home, and make your own story and read the stories of others. Fear, once again, is something that will keep you safe and alive, but shouldn't stand in the way of you and the things you could achieve and the people you could meet and the connections you could make. Your safety bubble keeps you safe, and you can take it with you to all your travels and to meet other people. But I say if your safety bubble is the only thing standing between you and an amazing future, I say it's time to let that bubble burst. Thank you very much.